I know you said you started when you were 15. Like, what was it that got you into boxing?
Funny enough, my dad, but growing up, I wasn't even too interested in it. My dad was always a huge boxing fan. I was almost named Oscar. Yeah, to that point. And
Cuban Oscar.
yeah, go figure, right? But as a kid, I wasn't too interested. I was doing whatever, like skateboarding, this and that, and hanging out with friends, or just always. But we were at fight parties every weekend. It was always a thing. But then as I started getting a little older, I started seeing fights like Mayweather Gaddy was one that really kind of lit that fire a little bit, that piqued my interest. Stuff like that. Seeing I remember Klitschko back then, and I know his fights weren't the most exciting, but the knockouts were. Just seeing the way he would just topple these giant heavyweights, stuff like that. So I started piquing my interest a little bit, and then I had to start my begging for a couple years because my parents would not let me box. It was an immediate no. Definitely not. And then the only reason my dad let me was because his dad didn't let him when he was in Cuba. And my dad was always kind of regretted that. Always looked back wish he would have let him do it. So that's just where he let me try it. And the whole cliche, all this stuff. Like as soon as I walked into a boxing gym, it was over. I've never looked back. I was blessed enough to find my passion, and there was never any doubts or any hesitation. I'm locking in on this.
Wow. There you go. And you're training with Rich now, right? Coach Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the move?
I just felt like I hit almost like a plateau. I just felt like I wasn't learning. And, we've talked about it off camera. You've always seen me. I'm always in the gym. I'm always in shape and everything. But I kind of felt like I wasn't growing anymore. And for me to be in the gym 24/7 and not be getting better, I'm just spinning my wheels. That's where I'll kind of start to lose it a little bit. And I started, looking at, Rich. I've worked with Rich and Bob Santos, and I noticed. So I've always known Rich was, very technical and stuff. But when Mario Barrios made the move to Bob Santos and Rich over there at Pound for Pound, I started noticing that he wasn't just getting in shape for the next fights. Fight by fight, he was improving. He's okay, he stopped dragging his foot when he throws a right hand. He's on this angle, he kept this hand up. So, just those little details that we look at. So I saw genuine improvements, not just better shape, improvements. And that's when I was okay, I think this might be that next look that I need, to put all the puzzle pieces finally together. Yeah. Because I grew tremendously with Salah since I've been in Vegas. Yeah. And I'm always super grateful for that. We won a world title together and everything, but it's just, it kind of needed that fresh start, and I really feel like I found that.
What's the next goal? What's the target?
The next target, I'm trying to get back in, a big fight. I finally got my tune-up comeback fight in Mexico last month. It was actually on July 4th. Okay. And so, so we're back in the win column and stuff, mission accomplished, let's move forward. So I'm trying to get in any of these big fights, I'm still a good name, for anybody to fight. Yeah. And, I keep pushing for this Fundora fight. I feel like we were supposed to get that rematch, but we put it to the side so I could go fight Tim Tszyu for the WBO. And I'm pushing that now. Now, I've kind of turned into his boogeyman. I feel like he's scared, just anytime they bring it up or something, swerve the topic, they're just, really avoiding it.